Right here caught my attention, and this why I decided to do a video on this one, because we all got family, friends, brothers, sisters, friends, and best friends, and this can happen to anyone. So I want to bring awareness to this Sarah Stern case, because this can happen to anybody. Your brother, your sister, like I said, your brother, sisters, dad, mothers, cousins, friends, best friends. They can betray you like that, and it all can be over money. Now, in Sarah's case, she made a mistake of showing off this money. Well, I wouldn't say showing off, but letting people know she had this money. And I want to let people know about this case, because it could stop someone else from being, what's the word? Gullible like she was, and more trusting like she was, because she didn't think one of her best friends or her friends was going to kill her. So over money, right? So I like to bring awareness to these type of cases, so whoever see this can know to be smart and watch who you trust, even your brothers, your sister, your cousins, even your best friends. Watch who you trust, and please learn something from this video. I hope y'all learned something for this video, and I put a lot of time in this one because I wanted to go in depth with this, because I know my other videos weren't that into depth of the into most cases, but I wanted to go really deep and find a lot of details on this case. So that's what we'll be doing from now on, is going really in deep. And the videos will probably want to be longer, so just bear with them. But this right here is the story of what happened to Sarah Stern. Enjoy.
Push the goddamn button! Push the goddamn button! You heard what she said.
This was a real-life mystery. The opening act took place right here on this bridge at the Jersey Shore in the wee hours of December 3rd, 2016.
911, where is the emergency?
Not emergency. Actually on the Belmar Bridge, right after heading south in the middle of the bridge, there's a car that's abandoned.
There was no one inside the 1994 Oldsmobile 88 when police found it parked atop the Route 35 bridge. But the keys were still in the ignition, and the car was operable. Police thought the worst. The car belonged to 96-year-old Lillian Stern, who regularly loaned it to her granddaughter, Sarah. But no one was at the Stern house.
That's a safe place!
Trying to locate the registered owner. There's nobody in the house so far. 96-year-old woman car at the top of the bridge. Husband's wife died of cancer a couple years ago. We don't know if we got a jumper or what.
Police honed in on Liam McAtasney, Sarah's childhood friend, who had spent the previous day with her.
You Liam? You got a second? Can I come in and talk to you real quick?
Yeah, no problem, officer.
Is Sarah here by chance?
No.
When was the last time you talked to her?
I was with her today.
We're trying to find Sarah. What was her mindset last time you talked to her?
I just know she's been trying to get away.
Police returned later that day.
What's going on? Just give me what's going on with her. Like, how's she been acting lately?
The same? Different?
No.
Liam, you've known her since first grade, you said.
Yeah.
Has she been different than normal lately?
Well,
and for how long?
In the past, she has had a tendency to have self-destructive, suicidal behavior. Over the past few months, she's been telling me, how bad her relationship with her father is, and how she just needs to get out of here.
Why was it bad? What made it bad?
Fighting.
Arguing, fighting.
Arguing, fighting.
Basically, at this point, he's basically just feeding police like BS, and he's basically just saying, "Oh yeah, she committed suicide," or I know her since like first grade, so I would know how she's act, or and her family described her as a happy girl who enjoyed life. Now, the police didn't know this at the time because obviously they don't know who this girl is personally, but so that's why they're asking him how she was, and clearly he's BSing, right? He's purely bullshitting. He's just giving the police what they want to hear. Oh, she was suicidal leading up to her death. No, she wanted to get away and she was fighting with her dad. Blah 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 blah, which was pretty much bullshit. And I think the police can't call you on and say, "Oh, that's bullshit," because they have to be professional and they have to take the benefit of the doubt. But right now, at this point in time, he was just feeding police pretty much BS, and he was trying every scenario just to get away with murdering his best friend. Things started to come full circle as the police started to get surveillance footage. They started to have search crews, and then there was one guy who came forward, and he came with like the most biggest evidence, but there was a claim that the guy who killed Sarah, he thought that he was acting. Watch this.
Grew up in Neptune and knew Liam McAtasney from high school. Anthony told police that during a visit on Thanksgiving, Liam told him that their classmate, Sarah Stern, found a lot of cash in a house her family owns in Avon. Liam went on to reveal a plot so diabolical that Anthony didn't take it seriously.
He told me he was going to meet up Sarah. She found his money, and they were going to count it together. He was going to choke her out, bring her to the bridge, throw her off, and Preston was going to drive the Escape.
The police couldn't go off his statement just by his mouth, so the police had him set up a face-to-face meeting with him and have him confess. Now this is where the guy said he thought he was acting because his friend is a filmmaker, so he used that "I thought I was acting" role. So I want you guys to look at this alleged confession from this guy.
So I'm hanging out with her. She has, we went to the bank, she took some money out, not all of her money. We're counting it out, and then she goes to walk out the front door. I choke her out, drag her. My biggest problem was the dog, and her dog laid there and watched as I killed her. Didn't do anything.
Nobody was there?
No, nobody was there. Even her dad wasn't there. He was in Florida.
Yeah, you said that he was there.
So, I have to leave. I fucking dropped my phone at Sarah's house. My phone was at Sarah's house. Like...
Wait, you left your phone?
Yeah, I lost it. I couldn't find it. I had to go to work. I had timed everything out so that...
Why did you take your phone? You should have left it in your fucking pocket.
Dude.
What were you doing?
Strangling someone. I choke her out, drag her into the back, put her in the bathroom, and then I had to go straight to work. So Preston came over, took the body, put it in the bushes, and then I was at work. I had a full, night of work, except I left work a couple times, which looks sketchy. To look for my phone, though, which is a reasonable, thing to do.
Yeah, you don't look for your phone, yeah, you can't.
Which is kind of, me losing my phone is kind of a good thing, because the cops are like, oh, he's hanging out with her, he lost his phone, he's going back and forth between his house looking for it. And then I get off work that night, go straight over, Preston and I go over to her house, take her safe, bring that over to my house before we do anything. Then we take her body out of the bushes and drag it over to her back fence, and I crawl, get into her car, and I back up. There's a security camera across the street, so I had to act like her. I watched her every time she backed out. She does the same thing, so I backed out exactly like she did and drove off.
Put her in the trunk?
Nah, put her in the passenger seat of her own car. And then Preston and I had these walkie-talkies to communicate with. We just used them again. So I was driving, and I had her buckled in the passenger seat.
So she looks like she's just sleeping.
She's just sitting up. And my plan was, for me, I underestimated my own strength and how much a dead body would weigh. Because
It's limp weight?
yeah, I got up on top of the bridge to throw her off. My plan was I was going to throw her off, run over, jump over the divider, and get into Preston's car. And I go up, open the door, unhook her, pull her out, start dragging her to throw her over, and then cars start coming up. I see like headlights coming. I try to get her over, and I can't fuck my leg up. Like the weight from her body, like made me fall, and my leg like went up. So now I'm limping, my leg's fucked up, and there's 3 cars coming up. So I grab her body. Dude, I had superhuman strength, and I threw it in the car, and I fucking picked it up, and her feet were up here, and her head was down there, and 3 cars go by, and I'm fucking losing my shit, because that easily could have been a cop. And then,
I mean, the police station is like right there.
yeah, and then Preston comes over the bridge, goes around, makes a U-turn, comes up behind me. The 2 of us throw the body over, and then we're out. This is the thing about, like, heists. There's so much shit that you can't account for.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Recognize.
That's Sarah.
Plate, please.
That's where she's waving to me goodbye.
And that was the last time you saw her.
Correct.
Did you say anything to her?
She had asked one of my tellers what time we were open until.
Sarah did ask me what time we closed, and I told her 6 o'clock, and she said I may be back.
What was her demeanor like? Was she laughing? Was she crying? Did she seem upset?
Nope, she was smiling.
Was that out of the ordinary for her?
No.
And then she said to me, "I'll see you later." And I blew her a kiss, waved goodbye.
And what did you say to her, if
I
anything?
said I love you, because we had that friendship.
Stop this at many occasions. In the interest of justice, I'm going to post the following recommended sentence. And we will start with the count 2 robbery, first degree. I'm going to sentence Preston Taylor to 18 years in the Monmouth County, in the state prison, and that's subject to no early release act, meaning he will have to serve at least 15 years before becoming, I think it's 15 years and 15 years and 3 months approximately before becoming eligible for parole.
Preston Taylor was just sentenced to 18 years imprisonment for the counts that he was convicted of, to which he pleaded guilty. As was pointed out by the court, he cooperated with the state, a cooperation that the prosecution team, in particular myself, felt was necessary in order to be able to prove the case against
The state of New Jersey versus Liam McAtasney. Mr. McAtasney is now 21 years old. He lived in Neptune City. Everyone essentially in almost all of the family members that testified came from this small community of Neptune City. They all knew each other. That's what makes this really a heinous event, that these were 2 people, meaning Sarah and Liam, that knew each other since, I believe, grammar school. So on count 1, murder in the first degree, it's life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Count 2 is robbery in the first degree. This sentence will run concurrently, meaning at the same time. It's 20 years New Jersey State Prison. And count 5, desecrating human remains, is second degrees. That's 10 years consecutive to the other counts, to count 1 especially.
You just saw the completion of State versus Liam McAtasney in there, and as Judge English indicated, he was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole for the murder of Sarah Stern, among several other counts that he was convicted of. really what this boils down to is that this just ends the last chapter in the book that is the notorious killer that Liam McIntasney is. He'll go down in history as one of Monmouth County's most heinous killers here. It's tragic that nothing can bring Sarah back from the crimes that Liam McIntasney and Preston Taylor had committed, but I hope that this gives her some kind of restful sleep, some kind of peace, to know that her killer, the person who brutally murdered her and snuffed her life out on this earth, is going to spend the rest of his life behind bars.
It's been a long 2.5 years for this journey. I think finally we got justice for Sarah. I love my daughter, and everybody else did too. She was a good kid. She was a talented artist. She was a rising star. Her life ended way too soon. I miss her. I cry for her every night. I'm just glad that finally justice is served.